Picture this. The music starts. The bride is walking down the aisle. Everybody stands. People are crying. The groom is trying not to ugly cry. And then someone whispers, "Wait, where are the rings?" Yep, that's happened. And that's when everybody suddenly starts speed walking in their tuxedos or suits or formal wear, trying to find those darn wedding rings. Welcome to weddings.
You're listening to the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Ryan Hamilton is a real estate agent with Good Oak Real Estate and the heart behind the I Do Guru, helping people build strong foundations, both in their homes and in their marriages. Let's get into it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Houses and Spouses podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about two of life's biggest commitments, buying a home and saying I do. I, of course, Ryan Hamilton, real estate agent with Good Oak Real Estate here in the Phoenix and Tucson areas, and wedding officiant with the I Do Guru. Today, we're talking weddings. More specifically, we're talking wedding horror stories. Now, before everybody panics, this episode is not meant to scare you out of getting married. Actually, quite the opposite. Because after officiating a lot of weddings, here's something I know for sure. Something will probably go wrong on your wedding day. Let me say that again. Something will probably go wrong on your wedding day. And guess what? That's okay, because a perfect wedding isn't the goal. A meaningful wedding is. So today I'm sharing a few stories, some funny, some painful, all definitely memorable. And then I'm also sharing what we can learn from them. But first, dad joke time. You knew it was going there. Why did the groom bring a ladder to the wedding? Because he wanted to take the relationship to the next level. Yeah, he was gonna need a ladder to get there. Okay, that joke was bad, so we move on. Here we go. Let's start with the classic, the missing rings. This happens way more often than you would think. There's always the assumption that the rings are just magically handled and everything's going to be fine. They're just going to show up there. They're with the best man. Are they? I thought my mom had them. No, I gave them to the ring bearer. You gave them to a 6-year-old ring bearer? Definitely a problem. Ring bearers are adorable, but they are not exactly logistic managers. They are usually tiny humans in formal wear who look so cute, but are like one juice box away from a total meltdown. So here is my advice. Assign the rings to one responsible adult. Just one. Not 3 people, not a group, not somebody has them, just one person. Preferably a calm, organized person that's older than 10 years old. This simple step can save you a lot of stress. Now, losing the rings is definitely stressful, but at least nobody said the wrong thing. I once heard a story about a wedding officiant accidentally said the wrong name during a wedding ceremony. Not a pronunciation mistake. Not a nickname, the wrong name. As in the groom's ex-girlfriend's name. Yes, absolute nightmare fuel for your wedding day. Now, thankfully, I have never done that. But I have made my own version of a ceremony mistake. Early on in my I Do Guru run, I used ceremony templates to help build custom scripts for couples. So one time I reused the template and, adjusted it to make it personal, but I forgot to update the couple's last name in one section at the very end. So during the ceremony, I referred to them by the wrong last name. Not ideal, not catastrophic, but definitely one of those moments where your brain immediately goes, cool. Yeah, I want to be anywhere else but here right now. I absolutely hate this. So thankfully, we recovered. Everyone laughed. The couple was very, very gracious. But I learned something really important that day. Mistakes can happen, even when you care, even when you prepare. And that experience changed my process of getting ceremony scripts ready. That exact mistake is now part of my official checklist. Before every ceremony, I do a final review of names, pronunciations, family mentions, special details, and all of that, and any leftover template language that's within the script. I review it and modify as needed, because systems matter, checklists matter, preparation matters, and this goes beyond wedding officiants. We're talking about photographers, we're talking about DJs, we're talking about wedding planners, especially florists. You need to hire people who care enough to prepare, because professionalism isn't always going to look flashy, right? Sometimes it's just a boring checklist to make sure that the wedding officiant doesn't say the wrong last name during the ceremony. Now maybe you're thinking, okay, Ryan, everybody knows our names. We are good to go. Not so fast. Sometimes the problem isn't people. Sometimes it's fire. Literally. Couple decided to do a unity candle ceremony. Beautiful, romantic, symbolic. Pinterest pages and boards love it. They light the candle. There was an excessive amount of wick on this candle to start it burning off. Everybody smiles. There's soft music. It's a quiet, intimate moment. And then beep, beep, beep. Smoke alarm, full blast, ceremony interrupted, staff rushes in, guests are looking around, romance is gone, panic activated. Now, it's funny to think about it now, probably was not funny in the moment, but here's the lesson. Just because something looks great online doesn't mean it's always going to work in your venue. Candles, sparklers, cold sparks, those confetti cannons, fog machines, very popular, make me choke. Always check your venue restrictions because usually venues will have restrictions for very good reasons, usually involving fire or cleanup or both. So what's the point of all these stories today? It's simple. Your wedding does not need to be perfect, and social media has made this extremely harder to grasp and be okay with because we all see the highlight reels. It's the perfect flowers, it's the perfect lighting, it's the perfect vows, it's the perfect first dance. But real weddings, they're messy. A flower's gonna break. That music's gonna glitch. Someone's gonna be running late. A kid is going to scream. I guarantee that. A kid will scream during your ceremony, and that's just how it goes. Life happens. And honestly, sometimes those moments make the best stories. Those are the moments that people laugh about for years. They're the moments that make your wedding feel more human. So if you're planning a wedding, remember these three things. Number one, prepare well. Number two, hire people that you trust. And number three, when something goes sideways, always keep your perspective. Keep your eye on the prize. Because at the end of the day, you're marrying your person, right? That's the win. Not the timeline, not the vows, not the decor, not whether or not the napkins match the centerpiece or whatever that is. So if you're engaged right now, first, congratulations. Second, take a deep breath. You do not need perfection for your wedding ceremony. You need intention. And if you're looking for a wedding officiant who will definitely use the correct names now, that was a one and done, never again situation, or that at least has a checklist to make sure that that is prevented from happening, I'd love to help. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. And if this episode made you laugh, helped you out a little bit, or made you think, please share it with somebody. Appreciate that. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts. And if you need any home hunting or real estate advice, I'm also happy to help out there. So I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for being here, and have a great day.
This has been the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who needs it. For real estate help or a wedding ceremony crafted with care, connect with Ryan online. See you next week.